So let's start in a seated position. Start to ground and become more aware of your body and your breath. Let go of the day so far. Let go of the to-do list for later. We'll come back to that one later. And relax your shoulders. And then relax them a little bit more. And then notice your tailbone, your low back. And notice if it's pressing forward or slouching back. And see if you can find a place where it's neutral, where you're not tipping forward, you're not rounded, but a flat back. You can even place a hand there and feel the low back. And feel into what it feels like to have a neutral low back. And then tuck your chin a little so that your chin is parallel to the floor. Maybe even lift a little through the crown of your head. And notice how that changes, how your neck feels, and how your low back feels. Just imagining lifting coming from the center of the top of your head. And then slowly, we'll gently begin to come to lay all the way down on our back. And notice how the low back naturally lifts here up off the mat into a natural neutral place. Observing the space between the low back and the mat. Now your tailbone is flat with the mat, but then your low back naturally arches up a little bit. And then draw the right knee up into the chest. Hang on to it. And we'll leave the left leg reaching out long. And we'll reach out with the left heel, pressing into the left heel as we guide the right knee into the chest. And let the shoulders relax while we keep the left leg engaged. So we can place attention into the left heel and then let the shoulders relax and drop down. And let the right foot drop. And then we'll let the right leg go out long and then draw the left knee in. And press through the right heel. So we're really engaged through the right leg. And then let the left foot drop and be heavy. No tension in the left foot, and then let the shoulders relax and drop. And notice how if you let the shoulders drop, maybe your left knee comes in a little bit more. When you release tension from the shoulders, how it helps open up your hips as well. We'll take another breath here with that opposition of really engaging through the right foot, relaxing through the left foot, and through the shoulders. And then we'll bring the left foot down to the mat. I'm leaving the right leg out long, but we'll relax that right foot now. Take the arms out to a T, and we'll shift the hips to the left and let the left knee drop over towards the right. And hold on to the outside of the left knee with your right hand. Help draw it down a little bit. And as we sink into this side stretch, feeling the stretch all the way the outside of this left leg through to the hip, and let the left shoulder be heavy, and drop the left shoulder down so we're opening up through the left side. And maybe you're even feeling it through the inside of that left leg or the inside of the right leg. Maybe your right leg is still really engaged to help hold you in this position. Observing the muscles, becoming more aware of where the tension is, where the stretch is. And then come back to center. We'll bring the left foot up, left foot out, the right knee up. So extending through the left. I'm bringing the right knee up, and we'll shift the hips again to the side, to the right, and draw the right knee down towards the ground. Hold on to that outside of the knee with the left hand. And shift the hips until you're comfortable. I'll just let the left leg be loose. And notice where you're feeling it in the right leg. From the outside of the knee all the way through the hip, letting the right shoulder open up, drop down, reach towards the mat, down towards the ground. Opening up through the right shoulder as well. As we stretch through the right side, the right hip, and even through the right hip flexors on the top of the leg. And notice if you've clenched up through the glutes. See if you can let the glutes relax and the shoulders relax. And then shifting back to center. Shifting the hips, bring both knees up, lift the hips up slightly, reset the spine after our twist. And then we'll bring the hands down alongside your body and snuggle the shoulders so that we're opening up through the front of the shoulders, through the pecs. So we draw the shoulder blades just a little bit together. Not like we're pinching them together, but just snuggling them up a little bit so that we can open up through the front of the shoulders. And then we'll lift the hips up into our bridge pose, pressing down really firmly into the heels to lift up through the hips, really feeling that stretch now along the front of the legs, which really help our hip mobility and flexing the leg, extending those leg muscles, pressing up high through the hips, pressing down into the heels, a little bit into the shoulders, lifting up with the chest, and then drawing the chin down towards the chest and trying not to move the head here. So we'll keep the head straight, but draw the chin down towards the chest and press down into the palms also, giving you a little bit more leverage. One more breath, and then we'll slowly lower the hips back down. And then we'll roll the hands. We have our hands pressing down into the palms, and then we'll roll them onto the outside of the hands. And then keep rolling towards that thumb, pressing the pinky outwards. And then roll the hands back in so the palms are on the ground. And then roll the hands back out again, pressing the palms away from you. And then roll the hands back in. And then one more time, we'll roll the hands out, pressing the palms away from you. And then roll them back in. Really good shoulder stretch. And we'll leave the left knee bent. And we'll lift up the right foot and press the right heel up towards the ceiling. And then we'll slowly lift the left toes up off the ground, pressing the low back down into the mat. And then really firmly pressing down through the abs, pressing the low back down into the mat. We'll switch legs, bending the right knee and lifting the left foot up. Lift the left heel up firmly, up towards the ceiling, still really pressing down through the abs, low back flat against the mat. And then we'll switch legs, lift up through the right heel and bend the left leg. And then we'll switch again into a little modified cycling position and let the shoulders relax. If the shoulders have started to lift a little bit here, let the shoulders relax. And then we'll switch legs again, pressing the right heel up, bending through the left knee. And then as we do this, we're going to switch again, press the left heel up, right knee bends, and then we'll roll the hands just like we did before. Roll the hands outward. So we're pressing the outside of the palms away from you. And then roll the hands back in and we'll switch legs one more time. Press the right heel up, bend through the left knee. And then just open the palms. Just allow the palms to be open towards the ceiling. Relax through the shoulders, relax through the hands. And then we'll press the left heel up. Press the left heel up firmly up to the sky and pressing down in with the low back. And then hug the knees into the chest and we'll rock side to side, massaging into the low back. Massaging all along the length of the spine and letting the head rock with you, reducing any tension that may have built up in the neck. And then draw the head up to the knees. Hug the nose to the knees and then release. And then we're going to lift the knees, lift the feet, and have the knees right over the hips. So see if you can feel that place where the knees are over the hips, and then lock down through the abs and press the low back down into the mat. Looks simple, but quite a bit of effort here to keep the knees aligned over the hips and keep the low back down into the mat. And then we'll reach the arms out forward, reaching the fingertips out, lifting the palms up to the sky, and press the shoulders down. So you may start to feel a little quivering, a little prana, a little energy flowing. Allow the energy to flow out of the fingertips. And then hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side. And then one more time, we'll lift the feet, bring the knees up over the hips. I even find it helpful to take my hands to my hips and then draw a line up to the knees. And then rock the pelvis back so that you're pressing down into the abs, rocking the low back down into place, flat into the mat, and reaching the fingertips out towards the toes, palms up, and then let the shoulders relax. Tuck the chin a little bit. Notice how that feels. Is that difficult? Is it easy? Increasing the amount of effort going towards your back and your abs. One more breath here, and then hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. And really, we'll make circles now with the knees to really get into that low back, massaging through the low back. And then take your circles the opposite direction. And notice as you're circling with your knees and massaging through the low back, you're also rocking onto the shoulders, getting a nice massage in between the shoulder blades. And then come back to center. Hug the knees in. One more time, bring the nose up to the knees, really rounding through the spine. And then we'll lower the head and make your way to one side or the other and press yourself up to seated. And I'll just come to an easy pose. And this time we'll come with the opposite leg in front of your normal leg. Whichever one you normally put in front. We'll use the one that feels funny. We'll come to a seated position. Relax through the shoulders. And then notice the low back again. And notice if it's pressing a little bit forward or if it's rocking a little bit backward. See if we can find that neutral place with the low back again. We can even take the hand again to the low back and feel into the low back and find that place again that feels like a neutral spine. And then we'll bring the hands back to the knees and draw the shoulders forward, up, and down the back. We'll do a couple more shoulder circles this way, forward, up to the ears and back. One more time, forward, up and back. And then we'll switch. So draw the shoulder blades together, up to the ears and then forward. And notice maybe we round a little bit through the spine as you bring the shoulders forward. Draw them back, up and forward. And one more time, back, up and around. And then bring the shoulders back down to a comfortable place. And then we'll use the hands on the knees to help draw the chest forward, bringing the shoulder blades together, lifting the chin slightly. And then exhale, round through the low back, mid back, upper back, drop the head down. Inhale, pressing forward, drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round through the whole spine. Inhale, pressing forward. And exhale, rounding, dropping the head. And then come back to center.